All right, so look, I want you to be perfectly honest with me. Am I an INFP stereotype? Like, honestly, you can tell me. I don't mind. I can take the criticism. Although, if I could take the criticism, then I wouldn't be an INFP stereotype. And I can't take criticism in general, so I guess I am an INFP stereotype. Look, I don't know. I actually genuinely don't know whether I'm an INFP stereotype and whether when I'm walking down the street, people can just tell that I'm an INFP or even if they don't know about MBTI, they can just, there's something about me that just reeks of INFP. I was just having a shower before, and usually when I have a shower, I do the normal thing, which is bring an iPad in and put on C.S. Joseph videos where he talks about INFPs and how my personality type, contrary to the stereotype, is actually very manipulative, obsessed with power, cold, and yeah, manipulative. And usually I find that very relaxing, having C.S. Joseph staring at me as I shower. But today I didn't bring my iPad into the shower with me, and therefore, unfortunately, I had to deal with intrusive thoughts. In this case, whether I'm a stereotype of an INFP. Now, obviously, having a crisis over this whole topic is very INFP of me, so you can give me that. The thing is, though, some of the stereotypes of INFPs, I think the main one is crybaby. And I'm not sure if I am a crybaby. I've got a bit of a reputation for being cold and not showing enough emotions. ISTPs and INTPs have given me that feedback. ENFPs often think that I'm very cold and heartless and overly rational, overly logical, and unemotional in general. But I know that I'm very emotional. I just have to hide a lot of my emotions because I guess the emotions are so powerful. You've got to kind of hold them all down and pretend they're not happening in order for your life to keep going on, I suppose. I will confess that I have been an INFP crybaby at several times in my life. When I was 5 years old, on the first day of school, I started staring at the clouds and I got mesmerized by these clouds. I couldn't stop staring at them. Recently, Psych Casserole, a great INFP YouTuber, just made a video about why INFPs stare at clouds. And that's what was happening to me as a 5-year-old. I couldn't stop looking at the clouds because I guess, who knows why, but everyone went into class and I just kept staring at the clouds. And then when I noticed that I was all alone in the schoolyard, I started crying. And my teacher, a Russian teacher, came out and took me into class. She saw me crying. So I admit I'm a crybaby. I cried because I was lost in what was it? That's 1990. That teacher who was Russian, that must have been just after the fall of the Soviet Union. Anyway. And another time I cried was in primary school. I was in grade 5. Way too old to start crying. No INFP boy should be crying as a 10-year-old. And my mum she was studying law and we were put in a aftercare thing. So you'd stay back after school and then you would have to do a few hours getting childcare basically. And I remember we used to have to sit with our legs crossed and backs up straight. And then the after school the carer, whatever they're called, would give you a slice of bread with some peanut butter, but only if your backs were perfectly straight. So all the kids would be going, and I thought it was ridiculous. I just thought it was so stupid and pathetic. You're that eager to get your peanut butter and bread that you're going to make a big show about how straight your back is. It was just repulsive, absolutely repulsive. I refused to do it. But unfortunately, I don't know if it was an ISTJ. It was probably not an ISTJ, to be perfectly fair. It was probably some sort of horrible ESFJ. But they didn't like the fact that I didn't have my back up straight, so they punched me really hard in the spine, and it hurt so much that I started crying, which was pathetic, I admit. And actually, the after school woman, whatever her name was, no, it was Ruth. She looked at me in disgust. I think she gave ESTJ vibes, but I shouldn't start typing these people. It's not really fair. But she was just like, "Be a man." She just said to me, she was disgusted that I was crying. It was not a good day. I didn't feel good about life on that day. And I'm still telling the story all those years later. Maybe I am an INFP stereotype. I tell all these stories all the time. They're always sad stories, and I'm always holding a grudge for decades and decades. And yeah, I'm an INFP stereotype. It's true. It's all true. You know, I am on the personality database, by the way. A lot of people have voted and they think I'm an INFP, according to personality database. And personality database is always right. Uh, Someone had voted for me as an ISFP at one point, and then their vote went away, I noticed. But that vote didn't get added to the INFP vote, which makes me wonder, what did I do? At first, what did I do to make you think I was an ISFP? And why did you change your mind? What did I say that made you think I'm not an ISFP? That my votes did not go up for INFP after the ISFP vote went away. So explain me that. Someone has written, there's like I don't know, it's the community section or something on personality database, but for Vondelpete, someone has called me the quintessential INFP with a nice little emoji. I love being called the quintessential INFP, but am I really? That's what I want to that's what I'll leave the video on. Am I really the quintessential INFP? I would say no. I personally think there's something a little bit darker about me compared to many INFPs I know. And I think I've got much more cruel humor going on, and dark humor, cynicism, and I'm not as compassionate as other INFPs. I think I'm a bad INFP. That's my point of view. You might beg to disagree. Anyway, just proof. You know, a year ago, by the way. So when my mum passed away, she was in hospital. I caught that. I can't say the word on. Can I? The not the flu, the sickness that was going around for a few years that we all know about. I caught it in hospital, and she only had a few days to go to live. So we were always in hospital, and then I caught that. So I had to isolate myself in this apartment. I don't think I made any Vondelpete videos during that time, but I did upload one. Anyway, I kept making these espresso shots for myself, I remember, and the only symptom I had from that sickness, honestly, I was like fine, except for brain fog. And I already have natural brain fog as an INFP, but this was like really bad. And I kept having all these coffees around my apartment that I would forget to drink. I would make them, but I'd forget to drink them. Another typical INFP, maybe that's just typical INFP behavior. And I've done that here. I've got 2 glasses of water that I've prepared to make this video. One is half glass full, and one is half glass empty. Or that's not how this works, is it? Because you've got it. Anyway, let's just go with a glass half empty glass. I'll see you next time. Thanks for putting up with this video.